Hi, I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. Welcome to another inspiring edition of our Connections Over Coffee gathering. Our speaker is Karen Tasto, a powerful facilitator, coach, and guide who's been holding sacred space for women for over 20 years. Karen's work is rooted in trust, embodiment, and deep presence, and she's known for helping women reconnect with their inner wisdom and step into their fullest expression. Her talk tonight is titled Holding Powerful Containers for Deep Transformation. So, Karen, welcome. I appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you, Jen.
And you are on. I'm going to disappear now. You are on, Karen.
Okay, thank you. I am so honored to be here with you today and talking about this topic. So I invite you first, before I go on, to just let's all take a deep breath and invite yourself to be really present. Give yourself this time. As heart-led entrepreneurs, many of us are holding sacred space for others, whether you realize it or not. It might be coaching, leading, teaching, circling. And if you're not a business owner, you're still holding space within your own families, workspaces, or friend groups. And even though we each bring our own flavor, we all rely on something unseen yet deeply felt. It's not just our skills or curriculum. It's the container we create. And when we hold that container with intention and soul, it becomes a sanctuary, a safe, sacred space for possibly deep transformation. Some time ago, I participated in an online group program. It was held over several months. It was led by a passionate facilitator with a huge heart. She had incredible content that I really valued. And yet, I felt a disconnect. Something was off. She jumped right in without honoring who was in the room. There wasn't much space at all during the course of each session for voice-to-voice sharing. Breakout rooms felt unclear. There was confusion. Each session held a different rhythm and ritual, so you didn't quite know what to expect from session to session. There was no continuity, no threads drawn out. I noticed a lack of cohesion, low engagement, and little vulnerability. Now, because I've been holding sacred spaces for over 20 years, have led circles, and have extensive training in space holding, I could see what was missing, but many couldn't name it. They just shared with me their own feelings in our little small groups of feeling disconnect. You see, the container was leaky. And when the container is leaky, people sense it. They don't feel safe to go deep. It made me reflect on my own work and how important it is, not just what we offer, but how we hold the space. So what is a container, right? A container is the energetic and structural holding of a group or one-on-one. It's like the banks of a river or the bowl that holds sacred water. The container allows flow and depth to happen within safe boundaries. It's both the seen and the unseen. It might be the welcome email, the start time, the tone of your voice, the quality of your presence. A tight container doesn't restrict, it frees. And when done well, it creates something magical, as some of us shared in our breakout rooms, what we can feel as a result: safety, trust, intimacy, transformation. So I'd like to share some guidelines for holding a powerful container that I have experienced as important, and it's not comprehensive. So let's look at what makes a container feel strong and sacred. And I've grouped these into 3 categories that feel soulful and grounded. And you might just tune in with your own listening and jot down any of these that I list and name that you are already doing. So you want to like celebrate that. And any that are maybe a growth edge, right? Something that you could intend to experiment with curiosity for your own spaces. So the first category is of energy and presence. These are the unseen but deeply felt pieces, the invisible threads. And the first is trust in the wisdom of the group. Know in your being that everyone is whole and complete just as they are. You're not there to fix or save, but trust that they each bring their own medicine. The second is to prepare yourself before you begin, right? Come grounded, come regulated with any of the practices that you already have. Use those. Your energy is the tuning fork. So if you're scattered, the space feels unanchored. You might take a walk beforehand or take a few breaths, light a candle, feel your feet on the earth. And we're human. So if you do find yourself not in optimal space, just simply name it for the group from the get-go. Hey, I just had this happen, and this is what's happening for me. The group will feel it anyway, right? The third guideline is model the vulnerability you want to see. You go first. When you share with courage and heart, you invite others to meet you there. But this is important. Only share to the level of vulnerability that you feel comfortable holding space for others at, right? And that takes time and practice and skill, experience. So give yourself grace. As leaders, we're all at different comfort levels, and that's okay. The fourth is trust, and again, trust, but trust emergence. You don't have to have it all figured out. Be open to what wants to arise. That's where the magic lives. So I'll put these in the chat. The second category has to do with structure and flow. These are the visible, practical pieces that create safety and clarity. Set clear expectations and agreements. This was mentioned in our breakout. Right from the beginning, let people know how the space will flow. Invite agreements like confidentiality, if that's appropriate for your group. No advice giving, if that's appropriate. No crosstalk. Really get clear for yourself what it is you want for the group, right? So set up those agreements. Begin with inspiration or centering, right? I mentioned in my story how she jumped right into content. And so people weren't present yet. They needed time to land and to get motivated. So offer a short story, a quote, a poem, a breath practice. It signals we're crossing a threshold into something sacred. So begin with inspiration or centering. Also, the next is start and end on time. Really basic, really common sense, but we all need to be reminded of this. It builds trust and honors everyone's time. If it's looking like you need to go over, ask for permission before the scheduled end time. Give the option to leave as scheduled, right? That creates safety. The next is use clear breakout or exercise instructions. whether you're on Zoom breakout or in person. Don't assume people know what to do. Repeat the prompt slowly. We're all distracted. We have a million things coming at us. Invite even a timekeeper, so get that assigned. And then leave space for silence. Silence integrates. It allows insight to arise. I know it can be feel kind of scary to have those moments, but they can be really powerful moments. So don't rush to fill it. And along this line is leaving space for reflection. Offer prompts to reflect upon after giving a bunch of content so that can be processed. The material can be. And then allow time for sharing. Hearing from others, it builds connection. It helps integrate the learnings. Yes. The third category is soul and safety. And these are the choices that honor our humanity, tenderness, and emotional depth, soul and safety. Name who's in the room, especially in smaller groups, but large groups too. So if appropriate, you can name the range of experience. I know some of you are brand new and some of you have been coming a long time. You know, Jenny did that in this group. And if appropriate, name their ages or their backgrounds, their skill levels. When people feel seen, they soften, right? And we're all coming to groups, every single one of us, asking, do I belong here? It might be unconscious, but we are. Do I belong here? And this can really help everyone relax when we're naming who's in the room. The next is invite intention setting. Let people know why they're here and what they desire to receive. Okay, it anchors them and the group field while also building motivation and enthusiasm. So invite intention setting. Give them a moment. Why are you here? Another guideline is name the elephant in the room. If there's resistance or grief, someone just had a big loss, or awkwardness, name it, say it. It normalizes it. It releases tension and brings safety, which invites openness, right? So name the elephant in the room, right? My teacher always says an ounce of pre-framing prevents a pound of reframing, right? The next guideline is gently interrupt oversharing. Lovingly, there's always someone, and lovingly guide them back though, if they're taking too much space. Invite them back into their bodies. It's one gentle technique. What is this? What are you feel? I'm curious what you're feeling in your body as you're talking. And so you're holding the group, not just the one person. Next, be trauma informed and conflict aware. This doesn't mean being a therapist or being trained as a therapist. It means being sensitive. So let folks know that they can step away or take care of themselves. Make everything an invitation. This was mentioned in our breakout room that what didn't feel good was when you were forced to do something, right? That doesn't feel good. So make it an invitation. And it's about how you're phrasing it, wording it, and the tone of your voice. And lastly, is to give yourself grace. You will make mistakes. It's okay. We're all learning, we're all growing. We repair, we adjust, and we move forward with love. Okay. So I'd love to pause here and invite you to feel into this. As you were jotting down, maybe you were jotting down some notes, but if not, let me get them up in the chat. But reflect on which of these that I named do you already embody in your spaces? And which ones feel like edges for you to grow into? So I'll give you a moment and I will, and feel free, I'd love to see them in the chat, a few words about that. Okay. So you'll see them in the chat. Which of these are you already embodying? And which ones feel like edges for you to grow? Starting and ending on time, something I always try to do. Wonderful. Yeah, so important. Setting clear expectations and agreements. Yes. Beautiful. Pausing, trusting emergence. Yes. Modeling vulnerability. Thank you. Yeah. And someone's naming the importance to create safety. Yes. I give the elephant in the room the microphone, often to the dismay of many. Yes. Yes. Lovely. All right, I'll continue to watch. Addressing your audience appropriately. Yes. Awesome. So I just want to speak a moment before we wrap up on a leaky container, right? Those spaces that don't feel so good. So how do we know when the container is leaky? And there's signs, there's subtle signs, and there's obvious signs. But know that these may also just be life circumstances. So be really gentle on yourself. Just because someone is late doesn't mean you have a leaky container, okay? But, so showing up late, not showing up at all, distracted, people have, their cameras off, and even when you invited them on, there may be low engagement, confusion, overwhelm, distraction. These may also be resistances. So it really is, there are some nuances, and it really is tuning into your intuition and trusting it. And so how do we repair a container if we do sense that something is off? Well, the most powerful thing we can do, as I said in one of our guidelines, is to name it. Name it as soon as you sense it. Name what's happening and normalize it, right? Make it feel normal. So, and then asking how, as a group, how can we lovingly mend this together? This act alone often begins the healing. So take a breath. This kind of sacred space holding is the heart of my work, and I love mentoring women who want to birth their own circles or deepen the ones they're already leading, whether for business, community, or deep sisterhood. So if your heart is calling you in that direction, I'd love to chat. No pressure, just a spacious conversation. I'll drop my link in the chat, but reach out if you feel that pull. So we'll go to questions and comments, but thank you for being here, for the way you hold space in your own way. I want to honor that in all the amazing ways that I know of and have heard, and for the sacred work you all do in the world. Honored to be here. Thank you, Jenny. So who has questions?
I'm gonna turn off the recording before we take questions, Karen. But I want everyone here with us on Zoom. Let's show Karen some love. Everyone on Zoom, go ahead and unmute and let her hear it as well as see it. She can only see some of us right now, so. Woohoo! Wonderful job.
Karen.
Yay, thank you.
Very well.
Great job.
And you can also put things in the chat as well. It's always nice to see that as well. So Karen, thank you. That was so beautiful. And just practical as well, and a great reminder of how we can hold space for others. And when we hold sacred space for others, we help them grow and transform as well as ourselves. So thank you so much for reaching out and sharing that with us today.
Pleasure.
To learn more about to learn more about Karen's work, you can go to KarenTasto.com, join her Facebook group, or reach out to her directly. And we have those links in the text of this video. If you'd like to connect more women with more women like Karen and be part of our community, head over to opwgc.com. That is my website. You can find out more about the On Purpose Woman Global Community and read On Purpose Woman magazine. Thanks for watching.